It is without question that Gavin experienced physical pain prior to his ultimate death.
On July 9, 2024, police and paramedics rushed to a home in West Haven, Utah, to find 12-year-old Gavin Peterson lying cold and unresponsive on a bathroom floor. The floor was wet, as if someone had tried to wash him, and Gavin's skin was cold to the touch. His caretakers, Father Shane Peterson and stepmother Nicole Scott, claimed Gavin had been ill for several days, experiencing vomiting and seizures, yet they never took him to a doctor. Nicole said she found the boy in his bedroom covered in vomit and had helped him into the shower earlier that day. Now, Gavin wasn't breathing. Family members were attempting CPR when first responders arrived. Medics managed to get a faint pulse and rushed Gavin to the hospital. But it was too late. His body was shutting down. Doctors noted that Gavin was visibly emaciated, suffering from such extreme malnutrition that his internal organs had completely shut down. That same day, Gavin Peterson was pronounced dead in the emergency room, the victim of what one physician called complete organ failure brought on by prolonged starvation. It was a shocking and heartbreaking end to a young life. And, as investigators would soon learn, the tragedy of Gavin's death was the culmination of years of abuse and neglect at the hands of those who were supposed to care for him. Gavin came from a split family. His biological parents were separated, and from a young age he lived primarily with his father, Shane Peterson, and Shane's long-term girlfriend, later stepmother, Nicole Scott. Gavin's mother, Melanie Peterson, had lost custody of Gavin and his three siblings in 2014 to 2015 amid personal struggles. While Melanie underwent treatment and turned her life around, she was never able to regain custody of Gavin through the courts. Thus, by the time he was in elementary school, Gavin was entirely in the care of his father's household. Red flags about the Peterson home began surfacing years before Gavin's death. Utah's Division of Child and Family Services, DCFS, records indicate multiple reports of suspected child abuse or neglect involving Gavin's family dating back to his infancy. In fact, DCFS had been involved with both of Gavin's parental households as early as 2013. However, the agency could only act on what it could substantiate. And tragically, they never managed to definitively confirm Gavin was being abused until it was far too late. Gavin's living conditions were deplorable. His bedroom was essentially a makeshift cell. Unlike the other kids' rooms, Gavin's room had no carpet. The floor was just painted plywood, bare and hard. There was evidence that a small square was marked off with tape on the floor, as if to delineate the tiny area he was allowed to occupy. The room contained no bed and no blankets or bedding to speak of. Gavin was often forced to sleep directly on the floor, sometimes wearing nothing but a disposable diaper. To ensure Gavin remained imprisoned, the family altered the door to his room. The door's handle had a locking mechanism on the outside, meaning Gavin could only be released by someone from outside. At times, Gavin had to knock on his door and beg for permission to come out, even to use the bathroom. In essence, a 12-year-old boy was treated like a caged animal in his own home. Even more chilling, Shane and Nicole set up multiple surveillance cameras to monitor Gavin's every move in that room. They could watch him remotely via a smartphone app. Later, police would find several of these small hidden cameras mounted in the room, their infrared lights faintly visible in the dark, quietly watching Gavin as he wasted away. What exactly was happening to Gavin during those final months and years in his father's home? The truth, as later revealed by investigators, is almost unbearable to contemplate. Gavin was systematically tortured, deprived of food, water, and basic dignity. He was locked away, filthy and starving. July 9, 2024, began with Gavin gravely ill. He had been vomiting and suffering seizures for at least 2 days. That afternoon, he lost consciousness and could not be roused. At approximately 2:40 p.m., a 911 call was finally placed from the Peterson residence. On the call, the family reported that Gavin had fallen in the tub and was now unresponsive. When deputies arrived, they found Gavin on the bathroom floor, unconscious. His skin was cold. Nicole and Shane were reportedly performing CPR. They admitted Gavin had been dangerously ill, but had not taken him to a doctor or hospital. EMS rushed Gavin to a local hospital, but it was too late. Gavin Peterson was pronounced dead. The initial cause of death was identified as organ failure due to severe malnutrition. Within hours of Gavin's death, a full criminal investigation was underway. Uncovering the truth,